Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be getting right into my Oderso config settings, and I'm going to show you guys all the settings I use to make my game look as good as it does. And I'm going to play one game of bedwars and one game of skywars so you can see, and then we'll get right into the tutorial. So skip ahead if you don't want to see the gameplays or you've already seen it, and I hope you enjoy. So here we are hopping straight into the config settings. If you guys are wondering how I get my game to look this smooth and run such high FPS, I'm going to give you all my secrets and we're going to hop right into it. So I press L to open my config on Minecraft. As you know, I use the Oderso client. So I'm going to go through and show you all my settings that I have on. Make sure you favorite the ones that you use. That way they stay up top because it makes it way easier to get to. But you can pause the video here if you want to copy all my settings. But this is for my armor hub. And then we have block outline, which I got the white color, and then you can change all the outline size and all that. We have chat. I have no background on, so it makes it where there's not black boxes behind the chats. It's just clear. And then I have move on. That way I can move it in a different spot on my screen. Custom crosshair. I don't actually have a custom crosshair. I only have this on so that I can have the crosshair in third person. We got FOV changer. I used to run 121 FOV, and that's why I have it on. But I've actually switched to 100, so you don't even really need to have this on because you can run 100 in Minecraft. Then we have FPS on. You can see the mod text type. I have suffix, and then I have rainbow text, and then I have brackets removed, and then you can see the size I have there, which I have it up in the top left corner. And then fog color, I have it on, you can copy it exactly. Red is 180, green is 177, blue is 172, and then alpha is 76%, which is this thing. And that changes the fog, and it makes it look better. Hurt color, this is whenever I hit the enemies and they don't just have the default red color. That's because I have rainbow on, because I think it looks good. Then item physics, you can copy all this stuff. This is how smooth the ores look laying on the ground and coming out of generators. It looks better than them just floating in the air, so I would definitely consider putting that on. Java inventory, this is definitely an important one because you only have this on Java, but through the client you can use it. And it's basically where if I go into my inventory, I can just, so like this hotbar, I have to press number 3 for. Most of the time you'd have to move it over, but all I do is hover over it, and then I can just press whatever that saw. So like this one's numbered to number 1 on my keyboard, so I can just press it. This one's number E. See, just moves it over, then C, and it even switches all the ores. So definitely put that on. It makes it look way cleaner, and it helps out a ton to loot chests. Then obviously I got keystrokes on. You can copy all of this stuff. These don't really matter. And then I have note sands on. I think it looks better. And then you have my text color and my color when it's pressed, and that's so that it copies my profile picture. And you can see my keystrokes down here in the bottom right, and then when I press them you can see. But those are all my settings on that, which you can pause the video if you need to. And then I have low fire on so that the fire is not blinding me whenever I get caught on fire. I just have it lowered a little bit. I have name tag. So for name tag, it basically, I make sure to have no background on, and then I have it turned on in third person so I can see my name in third person. Then we have pack display, which you don't need this one on. I only have it on since I do videos and people want to know what texture packs I use, which you can see bottom right corner. It shows all the texture packs, not that I have downloaded, but the ones that I have equipped. So then, you know, I have the delay on and no background and stuff like that. And then paper doll. Paper doll is your little guy that is normally in the top left corner, but since I have my FPS and stuff up there, I have it to the left of my hotbar, and you can see always show, and then I have move on so I can move it, and then that's the size. I have my ping on, which I also have on prefix, note sans, and then I have it in rainbow so it matches my FPS, which you can see it down here in the bottom right corner. And then I have the size. Make sure to turn brackets off, because you don't want those little square boxes around it. It just doesn't look good. Skin stealer, that's really cool. I would definitely recommend doing this if you kind of want to mess around. It's fun. You can steal people's skins by just looking at him. So definitely consider doing that if you want to mess around with your friends. Swing I have on, but I just use it for like thumbnails. Time changer I have on. This also makes my game look clean. Have the modifier on 28 because it gives it a slight shadow across everything. Twerk, don't ask questions. I have that on so I can also get thumbnail poses. And then weather changer, sometimes I'll throw it on if I'm doing an FPS video and I want rain in the background. I mean, if I turn it on, you can see, and then you can change the intensity. You can turn it up to where it's pouring, which we don't want. So that's a cool thing for ASMR. I have zoom on, and these are all my settings for zooms. I use F to zoom. So there's the strength, there's the animation speed, and all that stuff. And then I believe that's all that I have on. A lot of people like to use auto sprint, but I don't. That's something new. I'll probably check that out. And I don't have CPS on because I have CPS through my keystrokes. And then that automatically comes turned on, so you can't turn that off. You can turn compass on if you want. Custom hit sounds I don't use because I have a pack that has that. And there's a bunch of things you can do. I do wish you could use free look, but you can't on servers because it's not fair towards other people. But yeah, there's all of these things that you can change, which is pretty cool. Wow, it actually just kicked me out of my custom server. That's cool. I straight up pressed F2 on my keyboard and closed Minecraft, so I hope that didn't mess up my recording, but I literally had to reboot up Minecraft and everything. But that is it for the video. You can see my FPS top left in the corner, and then my ping, and then you can see my keystrokes and my little dude bottom left of my hotbar, and then my pack reader, and then you can see my armor hub next to my keystrokes, and then my zoom. I have it to where it just zooms a little bit for funny moments in bedwars or something like that. But yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for the video. If you did copy my settings or anything like that, let me know down in the comments. Oh, and whenever you do, go to config manager and save it. That way, whenever you close Minecraft and get off, if you don't do that, it'll delete all the settings that you did. And if you want to move the stuff, you can see where I have my keystrokes, my armor hub, my paper doll, my chat, my FPS and ping, and my pack reader. So if you want that on there as well. And then yeah, definitely make sure you save it, or else everything you just did will get deleted when you get off. So but yeah, that's gonna wrap up the video. I do hope you enjoy, and your game won't actually look as good as mine. It all depends on what texture pack you have on and how good your PC is. So you know, you gotta keep that in mind. But if this did help you out and it made your game look a little bit better, consider liking and subscribing. It's free, and it helps me out a ton. So seriously, consider it. But I'll get out of here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.